Chapter 3. The Evasion Protocols, Systematic Avoidance of Accountability and Risk. The defining characteristic of the scientific confidence con artist is the complete avoidance of falsifiable prediction and public accountability for error. This is not mere intellectual caution, but a calculated strategy to maintain market position by never allowing empirical reality to threaten the performance of expertise. The specific mechanisms of evasion can be documented through detailed analysis of public statements, media appearances, and response patterns when predictions fail. Tyson's handling of the Bicep 2 gravitational wave announcement provides a perfect case study in institutional evasion protocols. On March 17, 2014, Tyson appeared on PBS NewsHour to discuss the Bicep 2 team's claim to have detected primordial gravitational waves in the cosmic microwave background. His statement was unequivocal. This is the smoking gun. This is the evidence we've been looking for that cosmic inflation actually happened. This discovery will win the Nobel Prize, and it confirms our understanding of the Big Bang in ways we never thought possible. Tyson made similar statements on NPR's Science Friday, CNN's Anderson Cooper 360, and in Time magazine's special report on the discovery. These statements contained no hedging, no acknowledgement of preliminary status, and no discussion of potential confounding factors. Tyson presented the results as definitive proof of cosmic inflation theory, leveraging his institutional authority to transform preliminary data into established fact. When subsequent analysis by the Planck collaboration revealed that the Bicep 2 signal was contaminated by galactic dust rather than primordial gravitational waves, Tyson's response demonstrated the evasion protocol in operation. First, complete silence. Tyson's Twitter feed, which had celebrated the discovery with multiple posts, contained no retraction or correction. His subsequent media appearances made no mention of the error. His lectures and public talks continued to cite cosmic inflation as proven science without acknowledging the failed prediction. Second, deflection through generalization. When directly questioned about the Bicep 2 reversal during a 2015 appearance at the American Museum of Natural History, Tyson responded, "Science is self-correcting. The fact that we discovered the error shows the system working as intended. This is how science advances." This response transforms predictive failure into institutional success, avoiding any personal accountability for the initial misrepresentation. Third, authority transfer. In subsequent discussions of cosmic inflation, Tyson shifted from personal endorsement to institutional consensus. The world's leading cosmologists continue to support inflation theory based on multiple lines of evidence. This linguistic maneuver transfers responsibility from the individual predictor to the collective institution, making future accountability impossible. The confidence con is complete, where error becomes validation, failure becomes success, and the con artist emerges with authority intact. Brian Cox has developed perhaps the most sophisticated evasion protocol in contemporary science communication. His career-long promotion of supersymmetry provides extensive documentation of systematic accountability avoidance. Throughout the 2000s and early 2010s, Cox made numerous public predictions about supersymmetric particle discovery at the Large Hadron Collider. In his 2009 book, Why Does EQM Cox stated definitively, supersymmetric particles will be discovered within the first few years of LHC operation. This is not speculation, but scientific certainty based on our understanding of particle physics. Similar predictions appeared in his BBC documentaries, university lectures, and media interviews. When the LHC consistently failed to detect supersymmetric particles through multiple energy upgrades and data collection periods, Cox's response revealed the full architecture of institutional evasion. First, temporal displacement. Cox began describing supersymmetry discovery as requiring higher energies or more data without acknowledging that his original predictions had specified current LHC capabilities. Second, technical obfuscation. Cox shifted to discussions of natural versus fine-tuned supersymmetry, introducing technical distinctions that allowed failed predictions to be reclassified as premature rather than incorrect. Third, consensus maintenance. Cox continued to present supersymmetry as the leading theoretical framework in particle physics, citing institutional support rather than empirical evidence. When directly challenged during a 2018 BBC Radio 4 interview about the lack of supersymmetric discoveries, Cox responded, "The absence of evidence is not evidence of absence." Supersymmetry remains the most elegant solution to the hierarchy problem, and the world's leading theoretical physicists continue to work within this framework. This response transforms predictive failure into philosophical sophistication, while maintaining theoretical authority despite empirical refutation. Michio Kaku has perfected the art of unfalsifiable speculation as Evasion protocol. His decades of predictions about technological breakthroughs, from practical fusion power to commercial space elevators to quantum computers, provide extensive documentation of systematic accountability avoidance. Kaku's 1997 book, Visions, predicted that fusion power would be commercially viable by 2020. Quantum computers would revolutionize computing by 2010, and space elevators would be operational by 2030. None of these predictions materialized, yet Kaku's subsequent books and media appearances show no acknowledgement of predictive failure. Instead, Kaku deploys temporal displacement as standard protocol. His 2011 book, Physics of the Future, simply moved the same predictions forward by decades without explaining the initial failure. Fusion power was redated to 2050, quantum computers to 2030, space elevators to 2080. When questioned about these adjustments during media appearances, Kaku's response follows a consistent pattern. Science is about exploring possibilities. These technologies remain theoretically possible, and we're making steady progress toward their realization. This evasion protocol transforms predictive failure into forward-looking optimism, maintaining the appearance of expertise while avoiding accountability. The con artist remains permanently insulated from empirical refutation by operating in a domain of perpetual futurity, where all failures can be redefined as premature timing rather than fundamental error. The cumulative effect of these evasion protocols is the creation of a scientific discourse that cannot learn from its mistakes because it refuses to acknowledge them. Institutional memory becomes selectively edited, failed predictions disappear from the record, and the same false certainties are recycled to new audiences. The public observes what appears to be scientific progress, but is actually the sophisticated performance of progress by individuals whose careers depend on never being definitively wrong.